Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with orange pistachio greenies. That's right. Are you tired of blondies? Bored with brownies? Well, then it's time to try these greenies. So this is based on an old orange and pistachio cake recipe I used to do at a restaurant a million years ago. So I tried to adapt it into a brownie recipe. Greenie recipe, and it came out really good. So we're going to start by zesting some orange. We need the juice and the zest, but of course always zest first. Once you cut an orange in half and juice it, it becomes significantly more difficult to zest. So we always zest first, and we want a lot. I'm going to zest like 2 oranges. And once that's done, I'm going to toss it into a bowl, which contains 1 stick of melted butter. So the butter is just barely warm, and all those amazingly fragrant oils in the zest is going to mingle with the butter. And if you could smell this right now, you'd be like, man, that smells good. All right, so we're going to whisk our zest into the butter. Then we're going to add some white sugar. All right, I'm going to mix that for 1 minute. And once the sugar's mixed in, we're going to add 2 eggs. And yes, there was a bunch of eggshells in that one. I removed those off camera. So 2 whole eggs. We're going to whisk that for about 2 minutes until it's light and fluffy. So give that a good mixing with the whisk. And since this is the bowl of wet ingredients, let's add more wet ingredients. All right, we're going to put a splash of freshly squeezed orange juice. Remember, that was done PZ, post-zesting. We're also going to add a few drops of vanilla extract. I'm going to give that a mix, and then a little splash of milk. Now, why didn't I add the milk right with the orange juice and the vanilla? You know, I don't know. So we're going to stir that in, and the wet ingredients are ready. Set that aside, and it's on to the dry ingredients. All right, so in a food processor, we're going to throw in a couple cups of pistachios, and we're going to pulse those on and off. We want to grind them, but not puree them. Kind of fine, but still some chunks. All right, at that point, we're going to add some salt, some baking powder, and some flour. All right, and then we're going to pulse that on and off 3 or 4 times to mix that stuff in, and that is ready. Let's dump that into the wet ingredients. Take a big spatula and just mix it in, fold it in. You know our philosophy here at Food Wishes. We don't stress about overmixing. All right, we don't overmix on purpose. We're not jerks about it, but we don't obsess. When it's mixed, we stop, okay? So right there, it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this batter into a thoroughly buttered, I think that's a 9x9 square baking dish. All right, spread it out nice and even. And you know what's coming next, right? It's the old tapa. So give it a couple firm taps/wraps on the cutting board. All right, not too hard, don't break the dish. And once you've completed the old tapa, go ahead and put that in a preheated 350-degree oven for, I don't know, about 25 minutes. How will you know it's done? A bamboo skewer will come out clean. So maybe check it 20 minutes. It probably will take about 25. Who knows? And no, of course you can't eat it yet. What are you, crazy? It's got to cool down. In the meantime, I'm going to take a little more orange juice, a little more orange zest, and just enough powdered sugar to form kind of an orange syrupy-like substance. It's going to make the top look a little nicer, give it a little shine, add a little moisture, add a little more orange flavor. Now that's optional, but it looks nice and it's really fun to do. So, you know, suit yourself, but I would do it. And that's it. Once it's completely cooled, you can cut it in squares, and it will look very beautiful. And as I gaze upon that, I can't help but think, why the hell didn't we put chocolate chips in this? I'm so upset. All right, so on the blog, I'm going to add a half a cup of mini chocolate chips to this recipe. So please do that and let me know. I'm going to do it next time. All right, well, let me take a bite here. And despite not having any chocolate chips, these were still amazing. So I know with that addition, they're going to go from amazing to otherworldly. So I hope you give these a try. Head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and more info as usual. And as always, enjoy.